one great question that I recently got, and it's often a question that I get from other students as well, is whether or not going to a summer program at a university or college during your high school days or even younger will help or change anything in terms of your admission to that same university or college when you're applying in grade 12. So the answer here is really yes and no, and mostly on the no side. Of course, there are some very competitive, prestigious summer programs that takes in only maybe 1% of applicants each year. If you're going for those type of summer programs, then of course, yes, you want to put it on your on your admissions application, and it might change the scoring of your supplementary application, but only if you explain it well. Don't just write the name down and say I went to this summer camp for X amount of years in my summer, because it tells me nothing. Really describe how competitive the nature of the program is, what you did in order to get in to those type of competitive programs. But on the mostly no side is, for the majority of these summer programs, they're really just programs where students apply and then their parents pay a fee and they can go in and go for it at a week's time to learn on different topics. So for those type of summer programs, it doesn't really impact your admissions application. We see it as an extracurricular. It's not weighted very highly because it is in a pretty short duration. But again, whether or not, for example, you went to a Wharton summer program and now you're applying to Harvard, for example, we wouldn't really think differently. Of course, again, if you went to the same program, again, in general, this wouldn't really impact your admissions process. The university that I work for, that I review admissions for, we also have a summer program that's quite popular amongst high school students from all across the world, and when we see in our application, we don't give it extra marks. We don't give extra marks to other summer camps that they've been to either. What we really look for in the supplementary application is really about the quality of your extracurriculars. So if you're putting these summer camps down as an extracurricular, it is a form of experience, and of course you do get a bit of marks on it, but because it is quite short in duration, again, don't expect to get a lot of marks. In order to get top marks in these extracurriculars, you really have to explain what you did and your commitment, your progression and your passion. We hand out marks based on the quality of what you did in those roles versus just basing it off the names. So if you're thinking that going to potential summer camps at these universities or colleges is going to boost your admissions chances, then it is unlikely to do so. But of course, I'm just speaking from my experience for the particular university or college that I work for. And obviously this may change and vary from, other programs in other universities. But for my program, we don't weigh it more. And if you're, a student who hasn't had the privilege to go to those summer camps, don't fret, because the majority of those marks, and which is pretty consistent across all the different programs that I work for, we weigh the extracurriculars based on your role and what you did versus the name and prestige of the organization that you work for.